California really didn't get a mention or acknowledgement in the president's nearly 2-hour-long speech tonight. Of course, the lawmaker reaction depends on which political party they're in and which part of the state they represent.
After spending the first few weeks of his term criticizing California, President Donald Trump completely avoided mentioning the Golden State in his address Tuesday night. Instead, the president focused on a range of other issues, from cutting government spending to cracking down on immigration. It pleased California lawmakers in his party, including Congressman Kevin Kiley.
I think that there was a lot there that every American can support. The president talked about a revolution in common sense, and that's exactly what we're seeing.
Even though several California firefighters attended as guests, the president made no mention of the Los Angeles area wildfires. Democratic Senator Alex Padilla posted this on his X account alongside LA's fire captain.
We're here together to make it clear that President Trump, do not forget about Los Angeles, do not forget about firefighters and other first responders who are counting on federal assistance to rebuild and recover.
In his speech, the president defended the tariffs he may be temporarily imposing on Canada, Mexico, and China. State leaders said about 40% of California's imports come from those countries. Congressman Josh Harder represents one of California's more rural districts.
For the American wine industry, our single biggest export market is Canada. Toronto buys more California wine from my district than any other place on the planet. And now those markets are going to be closed off, or at least way more expensive than they have been. That's going to make life harder for folks, right? Americans in my community are just frustrated. They were frustrated by the Biden administration, and right now they're even more frustrated by what they've seen coming out of the Trump administration.
And those tariffs are really dominating the conversation among California lawmakers tonight, and those impacts. Governor Gavin Newsom has not yet released a statement on the speech, but before it started, he did call those tariffs a tax on hardworking American families.